Edo Task Force seals up Cold Stone Domino's Pizza for flouting guidelines. President Buhari inducts newly appointed ambassadors. On today's Extra Voices, NGOs and migrants returnees working to export skills. And on business, Nigeria's inflation hit 16.47%, while in sports, Kylian Mbappe scores hat-trick as PSG beat Barcelona in Champions League last 16 first leg. Details of these and more after this break. I am Charles Opperum. Now the news in detail. The Edo State Government Task Force on COVID-19 on Tuesday sealed off Domino's Pizza and Cold Stone Creamery at Sapele Road, Benin City for flouting guidelines on COVID-19. The task force, led by Mrs. Aebu J. Winifred, a representative of the World Health Organization, also visited eateries, restaurants, shopping malls, and other businesses within the Benin metropolis to ensure compliance with the state's disease prevention protocols. The enforcement team includes members of the Edo State COVID-19 Risk Communication Pillar, security agencies, Red Cross Society of Nigeria, and officials of the National Center for Disease Control, among others. Addressing journalists shortly after the exercise, Winifred expressed disappointment over the nonchalant attitude of the managers of businesses in the state, despite sensitization and advocacies embarked upon by the state government to ensure compliance with protocols. Some other places visited include Just Protein and Mall, Market Square, and Kilimanjaro, amongst others. In a bid to reduce crime in Edo State, the Managing Director of the Edo State Traffic Management Authority, ESMA, Dennis Oloregbe, on Tuesday says the earlier ban by the state government on the use of motorcycles, popularly known as Okada, within Benin metropolis, is still in place. Dennis Oloregbe said only motorcycle riders operating courier and logistics services providers are those who can operate for the time being. He said the engines of motorcycles must be less than 200 cubic centimeters and that the riders must have an up-to-date driver's license and motorcycle documents presented on request. He, however, said riders must make use of protective devices and items such as antiviral sanitizers and face masks. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday inducted the newly appointed ambassadors, charged them to fight hard and protect Nigerians living abroad. The president who joined the event virtually said the federal government has identified 9 priority areas to guide its foreign policy, cutting across health, corruption, transportation, security, education, among others, urging the ambassadors to be guided also by these. The newly appointed ambassadors are 94, 8 consul generals, and 5 charge d'affaires. 43 of them are career ambassadors, while 53 others are political ambassadors. The Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, has said the newly appointed chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa, will be screened on plenary. Lawan gave this indication after he read President Muhammadu Buhari's letter nominating Bawa for the EFCC's top job on the floor of the Senate in Abuja. Buhari, in his letter, said the nomination of Bawa was in keeping with paragraph 2, sub 3 of part 1, cap E1 of the EFCC Act 2004. Recall, former acting chairman of the anti-graft body, Ibrahim Magu, was screened twice in plenary during the 8th Senate, but was never confirmed. Coming up in a moment on our Extra Voices, youths, NGOs in Edo State now building Coming up in a moment on our Extra Voices, youths, NGOs in Edo State now building in high demand abroad to discourage irregular migration. Details in the moment after this break.
Ever-revolving world of news, one story becomes extinct the moment another major story breaks.
Market women don't know whether they be anything.
But with KUFM's Extra Voices, the story never dies. It just takes on a new life.
There's no water in the house. The toilet is not good.
We don't have any fashion in APC.
We bring you new angles and fresh perspectives to every story, no matter how old or remote.
There are a lot of educated people that are involved in politics nowadays.
We go a little beyond the surface to get you those extra details ignored in the rush for the news.
Now bridge, now we take the entire now.
Some don't die for inside.
We go beyond the lines to bring extra voices, not just for those making the stories.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But for those affected by the stories.
I've lost one bag of rice, documents.
So it's a real disaster.
With extra voices, we add new flavor to give fresh perspective and taste to an old story. Extra Voices airs every Wednesday and weekends on KUFM's major news bulletins.
In Edo State, youths and other potential migrants are working with NGOs to build skills that will make them assets and not liabilities in countries of interest. In today's edition of Extra Voices, Chinedu Ikeja reports that the approach is changing the orientation young people had about migration.
We decided to go to Europe and partner with schools who are into skill development in the area of gas pipe welding, marine welding. It's an opportunity for people to see migration as an aspiration and no longer desperation.
Some non-governmental organizations and returning migrants in Nigeria are resetting the thinking pattern. They are busy helping the youth create skills that can be exported to other parts of the world. Musa Ewunse is the founder of NAME Foundation, an NGO based in Benin City, Edo State, South Nigeria, a state that contributes the highest number of illegal migrants to Europe. However, the story is changing as more and more young people are beginning to equip themselves with skills that are in high demand in Europe and other parts of the world.
We have quite a number of boys now who are into 3D tiling. That's the hot sell now in Europe. It's a big deal in Europe. And we have so many of our boys who are doing so well in this regard. We bought a new HP in the US, and the gospel, we gave it to an African American there. He could not fix the laptop, could not. But that same laptop we brought to Benin, it took just 15 minutes to be fixed by a person we trained. 15 minutes, what could not be done in the US?
Having lived in Italy for years, Nosa understands the terrain, skills in high demand, and is helping them find market for their products and services.
In the UK alone, you can sew just one Boba and Sokoto for about £50. That I will sew in Benin that is no more than 6,000-7,000 naira. We have people here who are now sewing and exporting. We created outlets for them in Europe. I have some outlets like that in Turin, in Italy. I have in Milan, I have in Rome, and I have in Venice. So people here can sew their clothes and send to my friends who are in Bologna, like in Italy, who are in Venice or who are in Venezia, who are in Florence, in Italy, and they sell for them. That's the kind of thing we are looking at already.
Initiative for Youth Awareness on Migration, Immigration, Development and Reintegration under the leadership of Solomon Okodwa is pioneering another deal with a welding institute in Italy to train over 1,000 youth in batches on marine welding.
The major courses they are going to be training is one, practical welder and welding operator training courses of metallic material, plastic welder training, education for welding coordination, the IWT, IWX and IWP, then the water welding course. And the last one is gas pipe welding.
This NGO is narrowing its focus on the Niger Delta region as a take-off point.
We are looking first maybe 100 youths, 50 youths as the sponsor may require. But our recommendation to them is at least 100 youth from each of the Niger Delta states. There is a great plan to export our skills to other countries because this school, it has an affiliation to several countries, almost about 25 countries around the globe. So taking our youth to that country in this field is an added advantage.
Some of the trainees from these NGOs are already rendering services within and outside Nigeria.
There are some we have trained And just about a month after, we're empowered, got some things, and 2 or 3 of them I saw on Facebook, sent me messages on Facebook to say, oh, I'm now in Naples, or Napoli as we say. One called me, oh, I'm in Paris. They went with the skill and the equipment we gave, they were empowered with. We had one fantastic, she's sewing already now in Italy. When I found out that she had already gone there, I have lived in Italy for so long, and I have so many of my friends, and so I just called, please, this person, meet this person.
Gifts O.J. Jonathan was a victim of human trafficking based in Benin City. Since she came back about 3 years ago, she has kept faith in chasing her dream of becoming a caterer, and she hasn't fallen short of expectations. Now established, working from home, she has better advice for her peers, having been on both sides of this journey.
I didn't take the right way. I lost a friend, so that's why I would say I regretted the journey. If you want to travel, traveling out is good, but travel the right way. As it is now, skills pay very well.
Now, Gift gets recommendations from clients who have felt satisfied with our services, a thing that gives a sense of fulfillment and a renewed hope for a better future.
I'm really happy. I feel fulfilled inside me. People now contact me all over the world, like the wedding cake I went to deliver this afternoon. Someone contacted me all the way from Europe. She saw my work online. She was even excited. I know that even if I want to leave this country, I'll know that I'm going there for a good reason, not the other way around.
Following the death of her friends at the Mediterranean Sea in the course of their journey, Gift plans to make her last wish come through by using her NGO to fight human trafficking and illegal migration, by providing hope and a platform for younger ones to nurture their dreams.
It was her last wish that I should stop trafficking. Because a lot of girls that traveled out of this country, most of them, it was never their intention to travel. A lot of them want to go to school. A lot of them want to become a doctor, some want to become a lawyer. They have a bigger dream, not to sell their body outside this country, but due to some circumstances, stepmothers, parents who want their children to embark on this journey.
For KUFM's Extra Voices, Chinedu Ekeja.
Coming up in a moment in our business news, Nigeria's inflation hits 16.47%. Details in a moment. Welcome back, and straight to business now. The National Bureau of Statistics on Tuesday revealed that the Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation, has increased by 16.47% in January 2021. This is the highest since April 2017. The report also shows that food inflation also rose to 20.57% in January, while core inflation, which excludes the price of volatile agricultural produce, stood at 11.85%. The NBS added that the upward movement in food inflation was caused by increases in the prices of bread, cereals, potatoes, yam and other tubers, meat, fruits, oil and fats, vegetables and fish. Core inflation, which excludes the prices of agricultural items, stood at 11.85% in January 2021, up by 0.48 percentage points when compared with 11.37% recorded in December 2020. And that's it on business. Over now to sports, where Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick as PSG beat Barcelona in the Champions League last 16 first leg. Stay with us. Kylian Mbappe scored a stunning hat-trick as Paris Saint-Germain thrashed Barcelona 4-1 in the first leg of the Champions League last 16 tie at the Nou Camp on Tuesday. The night did not start well for last year's runners-up when they fell behind to Lionel Messi's 27th minute penalty. Messi, regarded as one of the greatest players of all time, was then upstaged on his own turf by France World Cup winner Mbappe as PSG ruthlessly exposed the hosts. The 22-year-old danced past Clement Lenglet and smashed in the equalizer before stroking home from 10 yards to turn the game around. On loan, Everton striker Moise Kean continued his resurgence by heading in unchallenged at the far post to put the Ligue 1 champions in control of the tie. With Barca looking to pull a goal back, they were caught on a counter-attack, and Mbappe called in the goal of the night with his third. Elsewhere, Liverpool defeated RB Leipzig 2-0 with Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane scoring the goals. And finally, NFF President Amaju Pinnick on Tuesday visited the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, in Abuja to discuss, among other things, his intention to fly Nigeria's flag in the fast-approaching FIFA Council election. Pinnick brought a letter thanking the federal government for all their support and pledged to be a good ambassador of Nigeria if elected into the FIFA Council. On the spot, the minister reiterated the need for Amaju to use his position and connections in CAF and FIFA to help promote and develop Nigeria and African football at all levels. And that's it on sports. And with that sports story, we come to the end of our package this morning. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. Edo Task Force seals up Cold Stone Domino's Pizza for flouting guidelines. President Buhari inducts newly appointed ambassadors. And on today's Extra Voices, NGOs and migrant returnees are working to export skills. KUFM News Den was produced by Nlebedo Masa.